I'm Jacob,
I'm Benji.
and this is an any card at any number.
All right, Jacob, we have here 52 cards. I want you to name any one of them.
Okay, let's go classic. Ace of Spades.
Why not? Now, name any number from 1 to 52.
7.
7. Go ahead and count 7 cards.
Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
Take a look.
Very nice. So 30 days ago, we set ourselves a pretty fun challenge. We wanted to try and learn as many any card at any number of effects as we possibly could. Why are we doing that? Well, in card magic, it's pretty much considered the holy grail, like truly the best, if not one of the best card effects you can actually perform with a deck. So we thought it'd be a really fun thing to come together, learn a bunch of effects, and then put a little tier list ranking all the methods for you out here on YouTube.
But we'd overlooked a really important detail, which is that I was flying to Kathmandu, Nepal, in order to try and hike to Everest Base Camp. And so we weren't sure if this was going to work, but we figured, you know what, let's give it a go. I'm going to keep trying to study while I'm there and see what happens.
With that in mind, roll the footage.
Hey, how's it going? I'm in Nepal right now. This is Kathmandu, and I've just spent a long time reading and researching some of the best any card at any number effects ever created. I don't even know if you can hear me. Right now, I believe it's like a New Year's... It's April, but it's New Year's Day, or it's New Year's Day tomorrow, so it's a bit noisy. But yeah, I've just been spending like quite a while reading about, researching, watching videos on what everyone thinks the best any card at any numbers are, and there's a lot of them, but it's fun, and I'm sort of narrowing it down, and it's pretty interesting, and I'm going to try and practice some of them, try and learn some of them, and we look forward to sharing the results with you. But I mean, this is just crazy. What? Ciao. Wow. Okay, so I'm 2 days into the Everest Base Camp trek, and I've actually had a pretty good idea for an any card at any number. I think it's going to be pretty good. It's pretty exciting. I'll basically, real quick, the spectator is going to choose a card, and I'm going to say, hey, I'm going to give you a second to choose a card. In fact, I'll put a timer on my phone, so there's no rush. And while I'm doing this, I want you to just think of a suit, or think of a colour, red, black. Then once they've narrowed it down, so think of a suit, you know, club, spades. Then once they've done that, they think of value. Finally, once they've got their card, you hit stop on the timer. Maybe it's 43 seconds. I don't know. Maybe their card is 7 of clubs. And you say, oh, it's interesting, you chose the 7 of clubs, and it took you right down to this second, and you count down to the 43rd card, and that's their card. So that's the idea. I think I know how I'm going to do it, but I just need to spend a bit more time researching and ironing out the kinks. But it's an exciting idea, and I'm happy that I've had it, and I'll let you know how it goes.
No way! No way!
That's a great trick.
How did that work?
So as I've been trying to work on this timer effect, this any card any number using a timer, there's one little piece. I think the method I have in my head is great, and if that's how it ends up being, it's perfectly fine. But there's one thing that I'm thinking of that if I can figure out a way to throw this in, it's gonna make it just even more deceptive and even more subtle, so to speak. And I've been thinking about it as I've been walking just out on the trail. I've been running it over in my head, and I'm like, I know I can figure it out, but I haven't had quite the mental space to think about it. So if I get the mental space and I can figure it out, that's great, and I'll let you know. Whoa, cool bird. But yeah, that's my main goal at the moment, is figuring out that little subtlety. $4,410 meters. I think I figured it out. That's the update. Okay, so quick update. I'm actually in hospital right now. I got some nasty food poisoning, or maybe it was attitude sickness, or maybe a bit of both. Don't really know, but either way, I got a helicopter down. Now I'm just here in hospital. Luckily, pretty sure my travel insurance should cover it, but kind of crazy. On the bright side, I've got a lot of time right now, and I've been finishing building out this trick, and I think I'm ready to give it a go. So that's good. Okay, we're gonna try this trick. I have here the timer app on my phone. I'm gonna set a timer, maybe like a minute, maybe a little bit less. And the aim of the game is that Jared is gonna come up with a card before the timer hits 0, but I don't know how long he's gonna take. Don't know if it'll be quick or, you know, take a while. Maybe I'll give myself a bit of extra time to be safe, but start there. Okay. Do you want red cards or black cards?
On black.
Black. Do you want spades, clubs?
Spades.
Spades. Perfect. And then you have ace, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. All of these, you know them. Think about them.
I'll go for the 9 of spades.
9 of spades.
Yeah.
Sure about that?
Yeah. Pretty
Okay.
sure.
Okay, interesting. On my phone, we have this timer. It's been running. Pause it right here.
Yeah.
23 seconds left on the clock. No way I could have known you were going to say that, what was it, 9 of spades?
Yeah.
Or that it would leave us with 23 seconds to spare. But if the 9 of spades was the 23rd card in this deck, that would be insane.
Pretty cool. I can check.
Yeah, you can check. And I really hope it is. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22.
What the heck?
Nice.
What? You're crazy.
Okay, so one of my projects has arrived. Let's have a look at it. Yeah, so the box is pretty nice. Doesn't give too much away. Let's see what it looks like on the inside. So here's what the actual cards look like. I know there's a full expose on Craig Petty's channel of how this stuff works, but it still feels kind of weird to just tell you what the secret is on YouTube. I don't love the feeling of that. But let's just say these cards feel a little thinner than I was expecting. Well, here's one guy that's very excited about it, as you can tell by the mess he's made on the floor. Okay, so let's open another really cool any card number, at least from the copy that I've seen online, called the Grail. It's something that's been selling for years. I'm not going to be able to do this one-handed, sadly, so I'll have to cut here. That does look very nice. Very nice packaging, and I must say A.C.A.A.N Magic got to my house faster than any other magic company, so props to them. It was like only a couple days, I think. Very nice packaging again. An envelope, 2 packs of cards. Looks very cool. Honestly, I don't know the method at all behind this, so I'm gonna have to watch the video, but yeah, I'm excited. Beautifully packaged. And yeah, I'm ready to get into this one. Alright, so I just watched the ice cold any card at any number. Yeah, very easy method. I think there's a few pros and cons that I wasn't quite expecting, but yeah, I'm excited to perform this one on Benji. Shouldn't be really very difficult at all to get going. I just kind of need to give it a little bit of practice.
Okay, we're back in England. Yeah, I'm doing all right. I'm doing good. Thank you for asking. That was about a week ago. What you've just seen with the airport and the trick. As you can probably tell from that little compilation, I didn't quite make it to base camp, but honestly, I'm just grateful to be back in lovely England, and the sun is out right now, and we're feeling good.
Mm-hmm.
And we're excited to talk about any card in numbers, because while I was busy coming up with my trick, which, by the way, quick little aside, if you're interested in learning it, we will be talking more later in the video about the trick and how you can learn it. But if you're really eager and you just want to find out right now, there will be a link in the description. So feel free to check that out. But yeah, while I was studying and coming up with this trick, Jacob has been studying a whole bunch of other any card any number effects. And so we're really excited to come back together, swap notes, talk about what we both learned. That's about it. So yeah, we'll get into it now.
Maybe let's just start with something that I would consider to be kind of a beginner method.
Mm-hmm.
It's called the Ice Cold, any card at any number.
Love the name, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
Anything with the name Ice Cold, any magic trick with the name Ice Cold,
It's really good.
I would check out for sure.
Yeah. Okay, so name any card.
Jack of Diamonds.
And then name any number from 1 to 52.
We'll do 13 this time.
13. Okay. We will take the deck out.
Mm-hmm.
And 1, 2. And sorry, what? Sorry, was it 13 you said?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 13th
13.
card. Hopefully this works.
Let's
There
go.
it is, Jack of Diamonds.
Jack of Diamonds.
Okay, so that was Ice Cold, any card at any number by Mitchell Kettlewell. It's quite a nice one to start out with because it's what I would call a very like beginners, any card at any number.
Mm-hmm.
That being said, the conditions are really quite strong,
Mm-hmm.
and it's straightforward.
I'm a fan, to be fair. I rate it. I think it's good. I think it's not the kind of trick I would repeat, and that's because the trick works on an off. The main moment of the trick, there's an offbeat where you do something, and it's the kind of thing where if you do it once, because it's on an offbeat and it's this, you're kind of acting and you're like, wow, what is this? It perfectly, flies under the radar. But I think if you do it again, tricks that work by leveraging an offbeat moment, if you do them time after time on the same person, it's no longer offbeat, and suddenly it becomes like a discrepancy. You're like, what? This is happening every time? Like something's kind of not up here. But I think, repeatability, like maybe you wouldn't want to do it twice to the same person.
Yeah, so I guess a few weaknesses now. Primary one would be it doesn't actually work for every. It doesn't work for every card. I don't think it's that big of a deal. There's like good handlings for it, and honestly, if you haven't chosen another number, they're probably not going to remember that moment too much if you play it off well. Yeah. But I do think it is an important thing to say that this is not technically any card at any number, although we'll get into that debate later in the video with some of the other effects we're doing.
Another point about this one is like the deck isn't examinable afterwards.
No.
It's an ordinary deck. You can do this with an ordinary deck, but you just can't have the deck be examined.
And take setup. So you couldn't do this really impromptu.
Yeah, and you couldn't deal face up.
No.
Which, on the ad copy it says like no memorized stack required, which I can see why they've said that. Some people might find that like a little bit, not quite. I don't know. They might be a little not sure about that, but I can see why they've said that as well. However, all that said, I think the other thing we have to keep in mind is this trick literally costs $9.
Yeah.
And I think for $9, it's pretty good.
Yeah, I think it's solid.
I think if you pay $9 for this, you learn this, you're not going to be disappointed. I wouldn't be disappointed.
Yeah, if you went in thinking it was going to be the best method ever, you might be. But if you were like, oh, what's a beginner, easy method for any card at any number that I can learn within like a couple hours, you'll not be disappointed with this method. Yeah. Now, all that being said, where are we going to rank it on the tier list?
I could swing B. Yeah.
I think B is fair. It might move up, I don't think it'll move down. I think it's a B.
I don't know, I reserve the right to move it down, but right now it's a B.
For now, B tier. So this is The Grail by A.C.A.A.N Magic. And I will say in advance, a really big fan of this, so I really hope I do it justice.
I hope so too.
I want you to reach in and just pick any card you want.
I'll go for this one.
Okay. Okay, look at it, remember it.
Yep.
And maybe just set it to the side so I can't see it. This. Okay. Now that you have that card selected, I want you to name a number.
Any number.
Any.
42.
42. Okay. Yeah, that'll work. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this deck out, and without touching it, I'm going to deal down to 42.
Yeah.
That's what you said, right?
Yeah, 42, yeah.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41. And this will be the 42nd card. Wait.
Oh, sorry.
Okay. It's 7, it's fine.
Yeah.
So you named any number.
Yeah.
You chose any card.
I did, yeah.
And hopefully you should have
Ace of diamonds.
Okay, perfect.
But
Now,
I'm curious.
yeah, obviously I set this on the table right at the
Yeah.
beginning. No way I could have known what card you were going to pick, what number you were going to say.
Yeah, I don't.
Yeah, somehow, you go ahead, you can open it up.
What should I do?
Just take it out and look at it.
Nice.
Okay.
Nice.
There you go, that's the Grail. I hope I did it justice. I'm in love with this effect. I'm sorry if I did not do you justice. Because I'm Magic and I think Mr. Rose, I believe. But yeah, thank you so much. I had a lot of fun learning that, and I definitely will actually be performing that in my day-to-day. So that was the Grail.
The Grail. Jacob really likes it. I like it. Unfortunately, it was somewhat performed for camera, not for me, and I think that
Devalued it a bit.
Devalued it a little bit. So it's really hard for me to judge how it would have felt if I hadn't, like if it was just directly to me.
I just think it's like a nice combo of like the method is clever. There's different variations, like easy variations. You get the nice like you can do this in a number of ways. It doesn't have to be what you saw in this performance. It's a different type of method. Obviously, whenever you're bringing in like another deck and you're having them pick the card, not name the card, it's always going to be a different type of method.
Yeah.
But I think it's very nice. I think it's like super. It's super easy, and I just think like spectators love this sort of thing.
It's interesting because there's different methods. There's like it's quite layered. This one actually. So there's one moment here. There's another moment here. There's then this thing that you have to take into account here. I can think about like 3 main like pillars of the method, and they're pretty solid. I think maybe personally, the first bit of the method I would do differently, but I appreciate how they've done it in terms of if you buy it as a beginner, they've made it very easy for you. Switching in my own sort of handling for how I would handle that, combining that with the other aspects of the method.
Also, I should say this is like a very basic method. There is actually another method in the training that's like from a shuffled borrowed deck that gives like a similar effect. There's like a bunch of really cool effects. Like this is just like a very, very base performance of what it can look like. I just went like pure ease, like using the principle. But there are some that are like a lot more complicated and they achieve a pretty much identical looking effect. So yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I like it. I personally I just don't think I would do it just because I just probably would forget to carry the decks. Even the impromptu method, you still need like the photographs, and again, I just feel like I would forget them, or maybe you come up with like a different way of having it, maybe on your phone. You can maybe use Trace or something. Like it or not, that's part of how I rate it, and it is a little bit unfair because it's not necessarily to do with the method, but that is just part of my criteria, and so that's probably what I would put it B to.
I'm gonna put it A, and I'm the editor, so let's go an A.
All right.
I don't think it's
decided.
S. I don't think it's S because I don't think it's the best method ever. I just think it is a really clever method that can be as soon as I watched the first 10 minutes of this, I was like, I like this principle.
Okay, so this is a Professor Hoffman trick. When we went on Conjuring Archive, which shout out to Dennis Burke, Conjuring Archive, great place to find like credits, history of tricks. We looked up the any card at any number plot, and it pulled up an entry from a Professor Hoffman book in 1889. It's the first one in the Conjuring Archive. Okay, Jacob, this is a shuffled deck. You can shuffle it a little bit if you want, but it is shuffled. Okay, now what I want you to do is take the deck, hold them, spread through the cards, faces towards you.
Okay.
And I want you to think of one.
Okay.
And when you think of it, also count how many cards it is, like up from the bottom.
Okay.
But don't say that number out loud.
Okay. Done it.
Okay, now I have the cards back. Great. Now you shall name a number. However, for the benefit of the party, make the number higher than the number that you've just counted to.
Okay. 15.
15. Now see, it is not even necessary for me to look at the cards.
Okay. Okay.
But now we shall ascertain that your card is in the position 15.
Okay.
What was the first number?
11.
11. Therefore, we will start. Therefore, we will start the deal on 11.
Okay.
So
1.
well, no. 11.
Oh, 11.
12.
Oh, 12. Okay. 13, 14.
Wait, what number did
15.
you said 15?
Yeah.
What is your card?
Ace of diamonds.
We shall thus see the card in the position.
Let's go! Thank you, Professor Hoffman.
Let's go, Hoffman.
Okay.
I don't quite
I'm actually
get it.
stronger than I
Really?
thought at first.
No, it's not bad then, huh?
Yeah. No, it's not bad.
Yeah.
It's not bad.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
It's kind of silly.
It is kind of silly. I don't know if I quite understood it. I don't know if it's supposed to be a secret that you're messing with the cards on the table, or if that's supposed to be the trick. Is that you're I will secretly put it in the position even though I don't know the number. That's the.
It's not bad. It's one of those. It's almost. I don't know why there's so many old tricks like this, but it's almost like a riddle.
Mm.
Do you know what I mean? A lot of these old tricks kind of feel like a riddle where you're like, I don't know. It's like, then I'll go 11. Start 11. Now we're going for 15.
Yeah.
And there your card is. It's a little less.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's not. I don't know why, but I was actually impressed when it was the Ace of Diamonds. I don't quite know what happened. So.
Yeah.
I wasn't blown
fair.
away. It was more just oh, yeah. Okay, cool.
Yeah, so it is it's just a fun little bit of trivia, fun little bit of magic history right there.
What are we gonna rate? Good old coffee.
Uh,
It's not quite F, but it probably is D.
We'll give it D.
Yeah.
D tier. All right, up next we're gonna do A.C.A.A.N wins any card at any number, or A.C.A.A.N any card at any number. Okay, we are gonna do a little experiment. I have here a deck of cards.
Okay.
I want you just to look at this arrangement. Don't think about it too much. Just look at it.
Okay.
Oh, I forgot to hypnotize you. Sorry. Look at it. Okay.
Okay. Great.
Lovely. Glad I remembered to do that. Otherwise, this trick, you know, who knows if it would have worked.
Yeah, that's fair.
Okay. Name any card in the deck.
King of Diamonds.
King of Diamonds. Now, right now, you probably don't know where the King of Diamonds is in the deck. But if I put you back in that hypnotic trance, think about the arrangement.
Okay.
Don't think about it too much. I know I just said think about it. Actually, don't think about it. Just what is your brain telling you?
23.
23. Interesting. Okay, come back. Welcome back.
Thank you.
Now, you told me while you were under a hypnotic state that the 23rd card in this deck should be the King of Diamonds.
That's what I said.
And there's really only one way to find out, and that's by just counting the cards.
Okay.
So, if you could be so kind to do that.
Yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23.
Diamonds.
Very nice. King of Diamonds. Beautiful. Yeah, that was really good. Yeah, that was really cool to see in person. I mean, it's a method that I've known about for a long time, that we both have talked about a lot, and it was fun to see it like that and to put it in this tier list. I mean, I think so many components that go into it that I kind of take for granted at this point because I'm more focused on the move, so to say. But obviously there's a lot of components in that are super ingenious and probably some of the key components to doing the cleanest any card any number you can really do. I don't think it doesn't get much better than that.
No, I don't think so.
In terms of just the method is beautifully clean, clever. I like the pattern as well. I thought it was fun. Yeah, I don't know. I'm definitely biased towards. I guess probably the main detractor is just it's really hard.
It's hard to judge this trick because it's whoa. To some people, it's going to be really hard because first of all, they have to learn the stack.
Yeah.
And to some people, if they already know the stack, it's going to be a bit easier. So is this trick easy or is it hard?
Yeah.
It just really depends on what you're coming to the table with. So that's obviously a factor.
I guess it's a simple method, but difficult techniques are involved.
Yeah, it's definitely it's the kind of thing when I first read about it, it made me a bit nervous. It's ooh, I'd be a bit nervous to do that in real life.
Yeah.
But yeah, but it's not actually that. That's the other weird thing is it's not
Not
that hard.
It's not that hard. That's what I'm saying.
But-
it's not that hard, but actually, but it uses very advanced magic techniques.
Yeah, and obviously you have to be. There's a bit of like mental sort of, what do you call it? Arithmetic. I think that's fair to say. Maybe.
I think the main thing about this, though, as well, that we'll talk about with a lot of the other tricks, is like it actually is an any card, any number, and I don't want to say that in like that's such a heated topic, but I just mean like it really is any card at any number with no exceptions, which I think is obviously a really strong part.
Yeah, I think I'd still rate it S tier, but
any thought of card, I should say, any thought of card at any thought of number.
Yeah. I'll still give it S tier, but it does make me wonder, you know, the fact that I'm like rating the other one a little bit lower because I wouldn't use it. I don't know, I think the same thing might be true here. I honestly don't think I would use this. Again, for the reason that, you know, it's not like a gimmick trick, it's not something you buy and it gets shipped to you, but there is something about this that if you were just at a friend's house and they handed you a deck of cards, you would struggle to do this. However, you might be able to, but you would probably find it harder.
Yeah.
And so, again...
At which point, should you just carry the Grail? It's going to make it easier. Is it easier to just have a deck of cards with you, or... Yeah.
I would give it like low S tier.
I think it's bottom of S tier, but it can't not be S tier.
Yeah.
Because it's just so good.
One other thing, actually, that I wanted to talk about as we talk about this, when I was reading over this, A.C.A.A.N had a really nice explanation for why any card, any number seems so incredible. Because it's a bit of a contradiction, because sometimes you'll see videos where magicians are like, hey, you know, if I was to ask you to name any card and any number, and the card was at that number, like, what would be the odds of that? And people say, well, 1 in 52. And you're like, yeah, that's true, actually. And that almost doesn't sound as impressive. A.C.A.A.N points out the reason it feels more impressive than that is we kind of conflate it in our head with the idea that, for example, if a magician was able to predict a card, okay, there's 52 cards, so that's a 1 in 52 chance. If they were able to predict a number from 1 to 52, that's a 1 in 52 chance. Those 52 times 52, it's like 2,704, I'm pretty sure is what he said. So the idea that like you could guess a card and a number correctly, technically that is, like if I could predict right now what card you would say and what number you would say, that's a 1 in 2,704 chance. So like that would be pretty crazy.
Yeah.
But, and I'd never thought about this before, the reason it's 1 in 52 is because within a deck of playing cards, you basically have 52 different predictions. Because you've got 52 cards at 52 numbers. So it's like you've written down 52 predictions, which then makes it 52 out of 2,704, which obviously then simplifies down to 1 in 52. So I was like, oh, that's so interesting. And that makes sense. That makes sense why it feels like it's 1 in thousands, but actually it's 1 in 52. And do whatever you want with that information, but I just thought that was like quite interesting, and we should mention that.
So I should preface this atomic deck performance by saying it's not going to be very good, but luckily this deck has been exposed all over YouTube by Craig Petty, the creator himself. So if you see anything, do not worry about it. I'm just going to demo what the trick could look like, essentially. Okay, so Benji, as was evident at the start of this video, there are certain combinations when it comes to a deck and numbers that people pick a lot. For instance, people will pick Ace of Spades and 7 together all the time, maybe like, I don't know, 20%, 30% of the time. If you ask somebody to pick a number and a card, they'll pick 7 and the Ace of Spades. So it's kind of cool. The University of Birmingham, they did this kind of like a student study, essentially, where they kind of did like a public survey and they found out the exact numbers. So say, for instance, I was to put in Ace of Spades and 7, it would give me like 30% of people would pick that. So what I'm going to have you do is go on this site and just pick any card, any number, and we'll figure out what the percentage is. Obviously, we want one that's kind of like a lower percentage, preferably starting, I don't know, like 0.12 or something would be great. Anything that's like, I don't know, 5 or over is maybe a little too common. I want something that's really obscure. So yeah, go ahead.
Okay, I've picked the 7 of hearts and 12.
7 of hearts and 12.
Calculate the odds.
Okay.
Oh wow.
Perfect. Okay.
0.01.
0.01.
1.
All right. So we have a normal deck here. And 0.01. Okay. And what was the number you picked?
12.
12. Okay. All right. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. First time, 7 of hearts, right?
Mhm.
We know the odds,
Pretty
0.01.
low.
Yet.
There you go,
We
nice.
have it.
Okay, that was pretty
Hearts.
clean.
Okay, so there it was. The now infamous
I
atomic
think
deck.
infamous is a fair word.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's definitely faced a lot of backlash and also a lot of praise
Mhm.
from the Magic community. And yeah, I guess let's talk about it. Maybe Benji, you can start.
I
with
can
how it
kick
felt
us
for you.
off. Like, here's the thing. We've seen it at Blackpool, so it's not
Mhm.
really my first reaction. My first time seeing it with that like card generator odds thing, I think I prefer it with that
Yeah, I think so too.
than the other handling with like the notes, as you maybe will have seen in the Blackpool video on our channel. If not, you can go watch it. So I prefer that.
Obviously,
Mhm.
there's other ways to do it, so we shouldn't limit it just
Okay,
to
fair.
that. Like there is the
Mhm.
notes. There's also just like a crib sheet.
sheet,
Like
yeah.
you don't have to do it that way.
So there's that aspect. The one that you saw in the video was quite clean, actually. I think that was quite good. And if that had happened like out and about, I think it would have done
really well,
You know,
yeah.
I think that would have done well reaction-wise. The other thing we kind of want to avoid getting too mixed up in this is like, one, we've already seen just how crazy Magic World went when this came out, and we're like, don't really want to get involved in any of that. We don't want to be a part of any of that. We also really respect Craig, Lloyd, and all the team. Like, if there was more as well that worked on this, we think they're super creative, super smart, come up with some really good stuff. And we want to avoid being at all disrespectful to them. It just personally isn't. We just personally are not the biggest fans of this trick, and that's kind of where we stand. But like, when Craig demoed this for us at Blackpool, I was impressed by how polite he was, how friendly he was. He'd been demoing it for people all day, and he just was like, yeah, you guys can see it for sure. Let me show you, all that kind of thing. So nothing but good things to say about our interactions to date with everyone involved. But just the trick on its own merit. We're just trying to rank these, and I don't think this was our favorite.
Honestly, I just think the atomic deck is a victim of its own marketing. I do not think it's on its own legs a bad trick. Like if somebody showed me this and was like, hey, look at this cool gimmick deck that lets you do a really clean any card any number, and I showed you what I just did for you, I'd be like, wow, that's sick. How does that work?
Yeah.
I don't think there's anything. Like it's a really solid, good trick. It's a clever idea. I don't like gimmick decks, especially not ones like this that are like ultra thin and like it feels a little just a bit of a flimsy of a gimmick. Like it's not. I'm not a big fan of that. But I think this is just the main issue. The ultimate any card at any number.
Does it say that?
Yep. I think that's the main issue. Like this is not the ultimate. In my opinion, this is not the ultimate any card at any number.
Yeah.
Like it just is. I honestly like when you watch the tutorial. Like Craig and Lloyd are just like super excited about this, and like I can understand why. To be fair, it doesn't say like the ultimate, but to be fair, they did say it's like the best thing of this like century or whatever.
Yeah.
As an ultimate any card any number, I completely understand that in terms of like you don't have to do barely any work. It's quite clean, but here's the thing. In my opinion, it just can't be the ultimate any card any number if some cards and numbers don't work. I just think that's very silly. Like, it's not actually an any card any number then, because it's literally not. Like, if 10% of the cards don't work, like, it's just not an any card any number anymore. So, like, I don't know. That's my main thing that I find frustrating about it. It's just like, I don't know if I just got really unlucky, but when I first started doing this trick and I was like using the site, literally like the first 10 cards I put in did not work. So I started to just feel like really frustrated because I was like, I don't understand.
Yeah, and I guess if that sounds like very unlikely, it's probably quite rare to run into a string of cards and number combinations like that. But yeah, obviously if that was like happening out in the wild, you would be like, first couple could be motivated, but you expect it's probably just gonna be like, why am I still picking cards at this point?
And don't get me wrong, like the way that Craig handles it is really good. He has a few spectators. It's very unlikely that would happen over 3 choices or 4 choices or whatever. There's loads, like there's hours and hours of training they've done on this. So I'm not saying that's like necessarily an issue. I just found it kind of funny. Yeah, I think just like all the controversy around the atomic deck aside, this is a good trick.
Yeah.
Like, is it the best trick of the century? As you said, I don't want to play debate once more. No. Is it a solid, original gimmick with a lot of very creative thinking that's gone into it, and a very well packaged product that's easy to pick up? Yes.
So yeah, I guess just to wrap it up, like we're happy to give people the benefit of the doubt. We do think, from what we've seen, enough thought and work and passion went into this that it's understandable why people are so excited about it, but it's also understandable why some people were not. It didn't quite meet their expectations, and I think we've said pretty much everything we have to say on that topic.
Massive respect to Craig, Lloyd, Murphy's. They produce great stuff, and this is a very high quality product. But where would you put it on the tier list?
Tier list. I'm thinking C.
C, really?
What were you gonna go? D?
No.
No. You just seem surprised with it.
No, I was just thinking, like, do we think Ice Cold Any Card Number is better than it?
Again, based on will
Your
I use it or not?
I guess it just is, yeah.
Like, I might use Ice Cold. I won't use this. Again, I'm not saying that like whoever came up with Ice Cold, that method is more clever than this one or anything like that. That's just the biggest factor for me, is like whether I'm using it or not.
We can put it either low B or C. We'll see where it ends up. But
you would maybe put it B.
No, I'd put it C.
Okay.
I would. I just wouldn't use it. Like, in the right hands, I can see it being S for some people, or like A or whatever. But in my hands, this is definitely a C.
You can shuffle more if you want.
This one. Don't watch me.
Yeah, we're all happy we shuffled these. While he's shuffling, just name a number from 1 to 52.
26.
26. Cool. You happy?
Yeah, I'm so happy with that.
You should blur this out in the video. I'm like shuffling.
Zooms in slowly.
Okay.
Cool. Okay, we'll do this. Nadia, I'm just gonna deal cards, just tell me stop.
Stop.
Right here? Okay, we don't even need these cards. Just tell me stop.
Stop.
Right here. I'll show you the card. I'm trying to think, because you guys both told me to stop. I'm trying to give you a little roll, so you can look at the card. Okay. That way we're all doing something. Okay, yeah? Okay, so you're thinking of the card, but none of us know what the card is yet.
Yep.
Not even, not you, not me, not you. You said a number earlier, right?
Yeah.
Remember, it was 27 or 26?
26.
26. What I'm about to try, some people call the Holy Grail of card magic. Using a number that you selected on a card that only you know. What if in this deck that you guys shuffled earlier, we dealt exactly 26 cards, and the 26th card is the card that you're thinking of right now?
I'll be insane. I don't know.
I don't want to touch the cards, so if you can take the deck and just deal one at a time, so we can count. Face up if you want, sure, but just, yeah.
Okay, slow down. 20.
Yeah, slow down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11.
Pull them down a little bit, because it's going to ruin the anticipation. I can see as you're pulling out.
12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25. This is 26. For the first time, what card are you thinking of?
Oh, it's Jack of Clubs. Yo! That's crazy, man. Whoa!
What the heck?
Bro!
Okay, so we actually took a break, we went for a run, and now we're back. So we're not entirely sure where we left off, but we wanted to pick up with basically, I mean, this is really going to span what would otherwise have been a whole bunch of effects, but we're going to kind of lump them together into one category, which is any card at any number using a stack deck.
Mhm.
Obviously, some of you might be crying out in the comments like, but they're so different and there's so many of them, you should rank them individually.
And
Truth
you are
is-
right.
Yeah, that's true actually. But there's just so many, you know what I mean? And so we were like, either we skip them entirely or we kind of make it a little bit easier for ourselves.
Mhm.
And so we made it easier for ourselves. But obviously we want to shout out, there's just so many people. I'm sorry if we miss anybody, but like way back, you got Al Baker. He's got multiple methods for any card at any number using stack. Obviously, you got Find Some Reason. Monica goes over methods. Simon Aronson, obviously, big lots of stack work.
Danny Daughters.
Patrick Redford, Woody Aragon. Like, honestly, I can't even remember if there's any card at any number in the Woody Aragon book, but I'm
sure
him in
he
there
does one.
in case. I don't even know. I'm just naming stack workers at this point.
Yeah.
So basically, there's a lot of really good ways to do an any card at any number using a stack. This is one of my kind of preferred methods of doing it. If I'm out and I can grab a deck and I can get it in stack, then I know that I can form an any card at any number. And a lot of the time, all I need to do is one cut.
First any card at any number I ever pulled off was using stack. I don't know if it's the
really?
same for you.
I can't remember, to be honest, but I do remember the first any card at any number that I like witnessed as a participant that left me just feeling absolutely floored was, I've talked about it before, but it was Aaron Fisher did one for me, and it was like using some of these stack methods, and it was just incredible. So it left a big impression on me. But yeah, I don't really know what else to say about this. There's so much to say that like if we start to get into it, it's going to be a whole so much to discuss.
Some people learn stack just to do the perfect any card at any number. Like I feel like there's so many people that are just like, I'm learning stack to do an any card at any number. It's like the thing that pushes them to do it. So we can't shout out stack work and any card at any numbers enough. So I guess reviewing the methods again, we're compiling them all into one, so it's very unfair, but it is what it is. I think it has to be S tier. I think it's just like, I think, as I said, people literally spend years learning the stack just to do the any number effect because it's so strong using stack. So I feel like it kind of just, for me, it just has to be an S tier.
Okay, we wanted to talk about the Crusade. I don't think there's a video of this online, which is fair, because I think the way they wanted to market it was quite like, they just describe it, and if you're into it, and you buy the book. But it was quite a cheap, like it wasn't expensive, the ebook, so I was like, yeah, why not give it a look. I really like Atlas Brooking's work, and he seems like a really nice guy, so I was like, kind of trusted him on this one. It's interesting, this one. It was like, not what I expected, but it's good. And I think the key is, well, here's the thing, a bit of a spoiler. At first glance, I'm not sure this is something I would perform, but it's one of those routines where if I was just to describe to you purely the mechanics, like you would be like, okay, cool, but it's nothing crazy. However, I feel like what Atlas and I think maybe Andrew Brown, who he wrote it with, really try and communicate is how it's all, with this trick, it is all about the presentation. It's all about the journey that you take the spectator on and the way you build up the effect. It's interesting because we talked about a couple times during this video how sometimes the any card at any number like isn't as impressive as it should be, potentially, or it feels like it should be more impressive than it is, or magicians really love it, but sometimes they debate whether spectators love it as much. And Atlas and Andrew in this book, I feel like probably what's more valuable than the actual trick and the method is how much care and attention they place on how do we make this feel like such a special experience for the spectators. Because I think you can debate about how much you like the trick, but I think it is true that I would imagine watching Atlas do this, it is a special experience for the spectators, and it is memorable, and it is more impactful than many of the other, arguably better methods. And so I think that's the real value of this book, and the method that they use to get there is just, it's a method, and so it has pros and it has cons. But I think just the way that they package it is really the key secret sauce. And so go into it with that in mind, and I think you'll be more than happy with it. But if you think, oh, they've solved the trick, that there doesn't need to be any other methods, I don't think that's the case. I think these other methods have their own merit and have their own place. And some of the methods that we've talked about here today, I probably prefer to this one.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's pretty well said. So all that being said, where would you put it on the tier list?
Am I rating the whole whole thing or just the method at this point? Because I think
the whole thing is fair. I mean, yeah.
I don't know. I feel like I'm still so early to this trick. I really don't know where to call it.
Just put a B for safety.
I think B plus. Yeah, but I feel like that could be a harsh rating. But I'll just put it there because I haven't spent long enough with it that I can like guarantee it's A tier. Yeah, so I'll just put B plus.
Okay, so the next one we want to talk about is a great little trick called Stopwatch by Ollie Mealing. We will play that now. It's a really, really fun performance.
So, can you show me something?
I would love to, yes. And I have the red plastic cup deck for this.
Wonderful.
I thought it was a cool deck, yeah, so I got this. So, it uses my cards, but more importantly, your phone. So, if you could take out your phone. It's in the coat, okay?
Sorry.
It's all right. I'll just talk to everyone. Okay, great. So, if you could go to the stopwatch.
Yeah,
I'd like to turn on the phone, go to the clock, and bring up the stopwatch.
Oh, voila.
Okay, and then when you've got that...
sorry, I just...
Yep, no worries.
Voila.
And that's to go. That's as far as my Italian goes. So let me just familiarise myself with the stopwatch. So start, stop. Is that reset? Okay.
Yep.
Start, stop, reset.
Reset.
Perfect. So Diego, in a moment, you're going to reach out and you're going to press Initia. Is that right? Okay, I'll try.
Okay, start.
Right? So you press that, and as the seconds are ticking by, I'll begin asking you questions, and these questions will cause you to generate a playing card. And it's really important that for everybody watching, they know we haven't set anything up, right? No. This is genuinely just happening in real time. It's fair. Yeah. I've just finished a lecture. We've just set up the table. This is spontaneous.
Trust us. Trust us.
So you, at this point, don't know what card you're going to create, okay? Neither do I. It can be any card. It doesn't matter. And also, what doesn't matter is that the answers to these questions can just be the first thing that comes to mind, okay?
Okay.
You don't need to give it too much thought. Just the first thing that you think of, okay?
Yeah.
So, in your own time, reach out, press start, and we'll begin the questions. So in a deck of cards, you have two categories, pictures and numbers. Name one of those out loud. Whichever one you name is what we'll keep. So you said pictures, which is jacks, queens, and kings. Which one of those would you like to keep?
Queen.
Queen. So the queen can be a red queen or a black queen. It's your choice.
Red.
A red queen, very nice. Which leaves you two options, hearts or diamonds.
Hearts.
Hearts, sure?
Yep.
Okay, so I'm going to stop the clock right here on 22 seconds. We'll just get the camera on that. Okay. Got it? Focused? Lovely. That is genuinely 22 seconds. And what was the card again?
The Queen of Hearts.
The Queen of Hearts. So in 22 seconds, Diego created the Queen of Hearts. Now, this is where it gets interesting, because inside that pack will be a Queen of Hearts.
Yep.
What are the chances that the 22nd card down in that deck that's been under the phone the whole time, shuffled before we began this trick, is the Queen of Hearts?
1 on 52.
It is exactly a 1 in 52.
Yeah.
It feels more extremely. It feels like it would be more. But still, what an incredible idea, right?
It's impossible.
It is, and we can either entertain that as an impossible notion, or Diego, for yourself and for everybody watching, we can find out.
Really?
Yes, if you would like to.
Yeah, what I have to do?
I think we should find out. So, I won't touch anything. You're going to touch the cards. You're going to slowly take the cards out of the box. All right, just hold on to them, maybe face down as if you were going to deal the deck. And I just want to show everybody else there's nothing else inside the box. And
sorry.
It's okay, I just want to check.
Yeah.
The time again was... Yes,
22.
That's right, 22 seconds. So, we're going to deal down to the 22nd card. All right?
No way.
And fingers crossed, it'll be the Queen of Hearts. So, we'll do this face up. Let's begin.
Yep.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Here we go. 21. The 22nd card. Is it? Did we get it?
No way.
There we go.
No. Amazing.
Diego.
No, thank you very much.
You're very, very welcome. And I want to just spread these out so everybody watching can see. This is a normal pack. They have been shuffled.
It's not possible.
You name that card at any time. That's impossible.
Yeah, thank you.
Good job.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
Holly Mealing.
Okay, so we're back after the performance. Just honestly, like, it's so fun. I feel like both of us remember the first time we watched that performance, we were like, wow, that's
That's
really
what Ollie
powerful.
does so well. Is he'll just put up a 2-minute video where he does some card trick, and you're just left utterly like, I don't understand, you know?
Yeah.
He just does that so well.
Yeah, no, I love it. So there's a lot of layers to this trick that are kind of hard to review. Again, we'll just have to kind of try and take the whole trick. It's not 100% impromptu, although it is quite close to that. Like, I mean,
it can be done with a normal deck, and I don't think it would take you long to be ready to do it.
yeah. So yeah, I think it's I think it's really, really strong.
Yeah.
It's definitely the sort of magic I like to perform. It just has that sense of just like spontaneity almost. It's like that sense that I like from Ollie, where it's like just kind of sat down, and it's almost like he's like the trick is forming as he's performing, which I really like. Has some really nice, again, subtleties that you can pick up and use in other performances. So that's really nice as well. It's like when you learn Stopwatch, you learn a principle, not just one trick. So that's fun. Yeah, I think all that being said, do you have any other notes on it?
Just a really good card trick, and that's probably why I think moving into the rating, which is what you're about to do, like, it's just a solid A tier. Like, yeah, it's just a really good card trick.
If you're interested in Stopwatch, you can actually secure that through a link in the description. So just head to the description if you're interested. And we should say, we're about to close out the tier list here, which I know probably everyone is screaming at their screens. Why didn't you do this one? We know there are so many amazing any card A numbers. We want to do a sequel to this. So if you have any that you recommend, that you want us to try out, buy, and review for you here and put in the tier list with all the other ones that are on the tier list right now, please comment down below right now the any card A number that you want us to look at, and we promise we'll read every single comment and we will come back with a part 2 to this video. That being said, let's get into the final any card A number that we will be reviewing as part of this video. Spoilers, it's our own.
I have here on my phone a timer for about a minute. Maybe I'll give us just a tad longer because I need to explain how this works to you. But I've got that started right now. And the game is, if I put my phone down, that you're going to choose a card before the timer hits 0.
Okay.
Key thing is here that I want this to be really unpredictable.
Okay.
So I'm going to ask you some questions, and you can either be quick with it, or you can really take a while in your answers.
Okay.
Okay, does that sound good?
Sounds good.
Okay. Do you want red cards or black cards?
Red.
Red? Oh, that's pretty quick. Do you want hearts or diamonds?
Diamonds.
Okay, diamonds. Okay, and now of all the diamonds, I want you to just really think about this, and whenever you're ready, let me know which diamond you want.
Okay. 6?
You sure?
Yeah.
Okay. There, right?
Feels that way.
Okay, keep that in mind. Again, this should be really unpredictable, but we are at exactly 6 seconds left on the timer. That should have been unpredictable. But what if I told you I did predict this before we came here?
Okay.
I had a feeling not only that you would say 6 of diamonds, but that it would take you exactly as long as it took you to come to that decision. And to prove it, I put the 6 of diamonds in the 6th position in this deck. So if you deal 6 cards,
Okay.
it will be fine.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 6 of diamonds.
Nice.
Very nice. Really, really, really nice. I feel like it's unfair to put Benji on the spot here to kind of do the review, and as he came up with this completely independently, we didn't work on it at all together, I feel like I can give a pretty clean opinion of the conditions. Obviously, it's inspired by effects like Stopwatch and maybe like Switch 1, those type of effects where you have the timer out on the table. Honestly, I am a really huge fan of this kind of genre of effects. It's kind of weird that it's a genre at this point. But when I saw the video from Benji, honestly, I gotta say, like, I was completely blown away. I thought it was super clean. Again, I know, like, I only benefit by talking this up, so, like, feel free to take what I'm saying with a massive pinch of salt. I am being honest, but, you know, I get it. But I thought it was super clean. I love the conditions. I don't know, I just felt how I like a great card trick to feel, which is just kind of, as we said about Ollie's work, just kind of like it naturally arises. It doesn't feel forced. It just feels like, yeah, it just feels like you're watching it unfold before you. It doesn't feel pre-planned. So I really like that. It's really nice organic magic. I think the conditions are crazy. super clean. I mean, it doesn't feel like there's ever like a moment. Obviously there's components at play. Like when I was trying to like dissect the trick, I was like, okay, well, there's a timer and there's a deck, and somehow the two come together with some foreknowledge or control that allows the effect to work. But honestly, when I tried to figure it out, I couldn't get the method down. So yeah, I think it's really nice. I think if we're being harsh on it, perhaps it suffers a little bit in the same way as others, where like there is a little bit of setup required, which means it's not 100% impromptu. Like you can't just pick up a borrow shuffle deck and do this. That being said, seeing all the Anacardian numbers that we have, I would say the setup is quite minimal and the deck is 100% examinable afterwards, things like that. So I would say if we've rated, you know, a stack mem deck trick an S tier, then it would be unfair to rate this differently. I'm not saying it's S tier, but I would say for me it's definitely at least A tier in there with Stopwatch. I think it's really easy, it's strong, and it's original, and it looks how I would want it to look and feel.
Yeah, well, I was really excited to share it with Jacob and to share it with the community. It was just such a cool experience and such a full circle moment to go from, you know, a couple of days into the trek, I was trying to, maybe like one of the first days I was in a hotel in Kathmandu and I was trying to fall asleep. And as I was lying there, I'd been thinking about any card at any numbers, and I just had this idea and I thought, hang on, I think I can make that work. I love when a trick is not just a trick, but it was a journey, it was a memory, and it was such a cool way to tie into that experience. And so I was really happy with how it came out, and yeah, excited to share it. It's not a perfect card trick, obviously, but as we've said, it's got to be just like some solid A-tier material, surely. So I think for the price that we're going to sell this at, it's just hopefully
an easy purchase.
An easy purchase.
Yeah. So if you're interested, check it out right now. We're probably doing like an early bird discount, limited type deal. We're thinking of maybe taking this and taking it to the streets of London and really, you know, performing with it, testing it, maybe getting some people in to work with us on it. But for right now, you can get the method at a really, really good price. And obviously, yeah, we would love for you to support us in that way. And if you think the trick is great, go pick it up.
Not much else to say, yeah. If you enjoyed the video, that's a great way to support us. So yeah, feel free.
Yeah.
If you're not into that kind of trick and you're not into any kind of numbers, not really sure why you're still watching this video.
How you made it here, yeah.
How you made it here. Well, that's okay too.
We appreciate your hate watch. Yeah, but yeah, please go comment down below, like this video, share it with your friends. We would love to get your recommendations on any card at any numbers, and we would love to hear what you think of our brand new effect. So thank you very much, and we will see you in the next video.
Ciao.
Ciao.